Well, good morning. This is Erin Esser with Morning Minutes with Erin. It is April 10th. And I tell you what, I did not wake up in a good mood. And I'm sharing this with you not to tell you um, about my mood. Well, I am, but it's for a purpose of letting you know that the more I'm doing this and tuning into the energy from a soul perspective, I'm actually living it in like that morning when I'm waking up, like I'm truly experiencing it. And it's become very interesting to yeah, to have to have this experience of actually living it and then speaking from it here from a space of experiencing it. So what I mean by that is today's Sabian symbol. So we are at 20 degree, the sun or our soul, right, is still in Aries. We got 10 degrees left and we're at 20 degrees Aries. And there's a couple things that I wanted to point out to today. I really feel like today is a beautiful doorway into all the potentialities that are um you know that are here, right? We always have them. It's whether or not we're able to see them or not. It's up to us to see the potential and to reach out and grab it, right? Reach out and go, oh my gosh, that's it. But we have to overcome ourselves first. We have to overcome all of our shit, all of our emotions that are dragging us down, all of our emotions that we're addicted to, all of our relationships that actually serve to be the physical embodiment of an emotional addiction, if that makes sense. Who do you have in your life that keeps perpetuating a particular emotion that you are addicted to? Now, nobody would ever admit or want to admit that we're, addicted to abandonment. But do you have people in your life that's a theme? How about resentment? Do you have people in your life that you're constantly feeling resentment towards? How about anything, right? You anger, right? Anger, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy. Um, who do you have in your life? Look at the themes that you have in your life with the relationships that you have. That will give you a clue. Uh, so when I woke up this morning, I can tell I'm an emotionally defined being, right? And for so long, I didn't even realize I was doing this. This is the tricky thing about our emotions and our subconscious, our conscious mind. Our ego will let us know and be like, oh, everything's fine. You just have to do this. Well, it's because it's keeping us safe. It's keeping us protected. But what I'm challenging within myself over this last over a month now, since the beginning of March, has been, I'm going to override these programs that I've been running in my being, in this body, in this vehicle, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to override this. And I woke up this morning because I'm an emotionally defined being. I'm paying attention to what I react to in my environment and what my mood is. So I'm laying in bed and my cat gets on me and I'm immediately annoyed, immediately just irritated, and I just want her off. So I'm like, normally I'd be like, oh, hey, like if I'm in a high part of my wave, right? So I'm like, all right, I have a choice here. It's not that now I'm going to be in a bad mood today. I just got to ride it out. I would have done that before, but I'm making a different choice, right? So I'm like, okay, nope. I don't mind being in a melancholy state, but that doesn't necessarily mean being in a bad mood, right? So I'm like, what emotion am I feeling right now? Like I'm feeling irritated. I'm feeling frustrated. So I'm feeling these emotions. I'm like, okay, where's the attachment to these things here right now? And last night in my room, I felt a heaviness kind of, I felt something was there, like just some energy was there that I didn't want there. And so I was doing a little clearing through my room. But I thought, all right, well, maybe I didn't clear it all the way, whatever it is, but I'm going to override this. So without getting my mind too involved in it, right? And so I'm like, what can I do to override this program that's running and this potentially addictive pattern of feeling frustrated, feeling irritated, and then riding that out through the day under the guise of, I'm emotionally defined. And so I just have to be in this state. I don't believe that's true anymore. So I did a meditation, and I specifically was like, but here's the thing, in order to override this, we have to want to. So if you don't want to, you're going to tell me that you can't do it. It's impossible because you really don't want to. Because the thing is everything is available to us when we want it. And that's what we take responsibility for. If your soul truly desires something, it will be there. And that's a humbling truth, but it's truth. And it's only when we own that when I'm owning that I'm empowering myself then to show up in a different way so that I can have the experience that I truly desire, that my soul does desire. So if you don't want it, if you're watching this, you're going to be arguing with me and saying, well, that's crap, whatever. That's not how it is for me. Okay, it's not how it is for you because maybe it's not what you want right now. So when you just admit that, it's okay. Just admit it though. And maybe say, hey, I wish my soul had the desire to want this. And admit to yourself the truth that my soul doesn't really desire this right now, but I wish that I had the desire for this. So before, I didn't want to override it because this is the program I was running and I was perfectly fine and comfortable with that. Even though my conscious brain would have been like, maybe I didn't like it, I still I was comfortable with it. I'm no longer comfortable with that anymore. I no longer desire that anymore. I desire a different experience. So my action will follow suit. So I put on a meditation specifically for what I knew that I needed. And I went with that. And it was only like 15 minutes. That was it. And then I was already kind of feeling a little bit of a shift. And so I went downstairs and I decided to do a 5-minute breathing exercise for energy. Totally changed my whole state of being completely. So from where I was 2 hours ago, it's 9 a.m. Eastern time. It was about 7 o'clock is normally when I wake up in the morning, right around there. I'm a completely different person because I chose to override a program that was running in my, system. So here's the thing today, and it goes along so beautifully well with the soul, our sun's perspective today, Aries 20. Okay. It is all about measuring up to challenges, to examine our strengths and our weaknesses. So you may face a challenge today. How are you going to face it? How are you going to show up for it? Are you going to go back to a routine that you are comfortable with, that you know? Are you going to have the same emotional reaction or emotional response to it, which is an addiction? Or are you going to recognize it if that emotion comes up and go, oh, nope, I don't want to. Just like if you were like an alcoholic or a drug addict or, a gambling addict or a sex addict, and you found yourself like wanting to go back to that place. You'd be like, oh no, I've seen this, or I gotta have a drink in my hand right now. No, I don't want this. You can make a different choice even if you fall into that, You don't have to partake in it. You can experience it for a moment and go, and you remind yourself, like, this is not what I want. You have to be conscious to do that. And you have to want, your soul has to want it, has to desire it. So this is about shifting your spiritual level up a notch. And and casting off the slave mentality. If you are responding to this with anything other than, oh my gosh, I'm feeling inspired to change my own pattern, my own programming, maybe. That's all I'm going to say. And seeing all things in life as a mirror. So the thing is that right now, and this might be because right now the sun too is like a degree away from Jupiter, roughly right around there, maybe a degree. I'm not sure the exact minutes, but Jupiter's at 21 Aries. So anything that Jupiter comes into contact with, it's affecting our soul. It's expanding everything. So you will face a challenge today. And how amazing is that? Because you get to measure your strengths and your weaknesses. So look at it as that rather than like, oh, why is this happening to me again? Or, I guess this is just my lot in life. What if it's not? What if it's just the game that you've played for so long that you can switch the game up? You can become a different player in the game. You can take the thimble that you maybe always choose in your Monopoly game and be the car. Whatever analogy you want to use to it. You don't have to be the same. If you want a different outcome, you can't be the same as what you were yesterday. You have to overcome yourself. So this is about overcoming the shit that we have put up with from ourselves. And say, nope, I don't consent to this any longer. I don't desire this any longer. But then remembering the one thing that I was saying earlier, recognize that if there's a ton of resistance to overcoming any challenge that you have today in a new way, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, gosh, I wish my soul desired this. I wish my soul desired something different. I wish I desired something different. Help me with a new desire. That can be your prayer today. That can be your request today. That can be your intention today. Because tomorrow's energy is all about how we are embodying this energy. You can hear my dogs in the background. So they agree with me, or maybe they don't, I don't know. But anyway, what are you shifting today? In the midst of a challenge that it's going to be emotional, whatever you face, whatever your stuff is, whatever your addictions are around, whether it's emotions or it's generally all emotions, because it's generally from it's a trauma response or emotional response to anything. So emotionally, what are you facing today that you need to change the program? You need to tweak the program. You need to become a different player in this game of life that you're in, because today is how you are measuring up to the challenges that you may face. And it's going to examine your strengths and your weaknesses. That's all it's for. You can see for yourself, who are you right now? Who are you right now? What do you want to be, right? What parts of yourself do you love right now, right? And what parts just need to be tweaked a little bit? So anyway, I hope you found value in this. It is, again, like I said, April 10th. And I'm sharing my experience because I believe that our experience makes it real and tangible. And that is the thing too within this, is when we move into Taurus, Venus is moving into Taurus later tonight or early tomorrow morning, depending on where you're at. I'm sorry, into Gemini. And everything has to be tangible. We have to be able to bring it down to earth, right? There's too much of this airy fairy spiritual kind of in the haze shit that we do, right, to essentially bypass our own stuff. So I bring my own example to you so that you can maybe apply it, or at least recognize when your own stuff comes up in your life as well too. So be blessed, be real, be honest with yourself today, and love yourself through it all. But show up for yourself in the highest way that you can. And the ways that you can't, examine that. And just be real. Just be real with you, because that's all you got for now. All right, until tomorrow. Peace.